You're running. It's 2 million years ago, the African savanna, midday, and the sun is doing something to you that it isn't doing to anything else out here. Every other mammal chasing this same antelope is already slowing down, overheating, panting in the shade. You're not. You're still moving, and the reason has nothing to do with strength or speed. It has to do with the fact that you are, for a mammal, almost completely naked. This is the story of why humans lost their fur. And the answer isn't vanity, and it isn't some slow accident. It's one of the most aggressive survival trades your ancestors ever made. Let's clear something up first because it's wrong. You are not hairless. Count the follicles on your skin right now, and you'd find roughly the same density a chimpanzee has. Same number, same spacing. The difference is what grows out of them. Most of your body hair is vellus hair, thin, short, almost colorless, basically invisible. Chimp hair is terminal hair, thick, long, pigmented, an actual coat. Somewhere in your evolutionary past, your ancestors didn't remove the fur. They switched it off. So why switch it off? The leading explanation is brutally practical. Heat. Around 2 million years ago, your ancestors were doing something no primate had done before at this scale. Walking upright, for long distances, in direct equatorial sun, often at the hottest part of the day. Persistence hunting, some researchers argue, chasing prey not with speed but with endurance. Running animals into heat stroke because we could outlast them. But running generates heat, and a body covered in thick fur traps that heat against the skin. Overheat during a hunt on the open savanna, and you don't get a second attempt. Humans solved this with one of the strangest adaptations in the animal kingdom. We became the sweatiest species on Earth. Humans have between 2 and 4 million sweat glands, and unlike most mammals, ours are eccrine glands, built for one job, pumping water onto bare skin so it evaporates and pulls heat away. Fur blocks that. Naked skin doesn't. Losing the coat wasn't a cosmetic change. It was a cooling system upgrade, and it's the reason you can run a marathon in weather that would kill a wolf. Here's where it gets genuinely strange, though. We can actually date this. Not perfectly, but with real evidence. Skin pigmentation is controlled partly by a gene called MC1R, and geneticists studying its variation calculated backward to figure out roughly when humans evolved the dark, heavily melanated skin we associate with early Homo populations. The estimate lands around 1.2 million years ago. Why does that matter for hair? Because you only need serious skin pigmentation once your skin is exposed. Fur is its own sun protection. Once you lose it, bare skin under equatorial UV becomes a cancer risk unless you evolve serious melanin defenses, fast. The genetic timestamp on dark skin is, indirectly, a genetic timestamp on losing the fur that used to make it unnecessary. But heat isn't the only theory, and this is the part almost nobody talks about. There's a parasite problem. Thick fur is a 5-star hotel for ticks, lice, mites, and fleas, and in a hot, humid environment. Those parasites don't just itch, they carry disease. Some researchers argue that individuals with slightly less body hair simply hosted fewer parasites, got sick less often, and survived better, generation after generation, until less hairy became the default. There's oddly solid supporting evidence for this. Geneticists have compared human head lice and human body lice, two separate species, and calculated when they diverged from a shared ancestor. Body lice, which live in clothing, not hair, appear to have split off somewhere between 80,000 and 170,000 years ago. That's not a random detail. It means clothing is at least that old, which means humans were already functionally furless long before that. Bare enough that we needed to invent a replacement coat out of animal skins. Then there's a third theory, quieter, stranger, and honestly a little uncomfortable. Sexual selection. The idea that early humans found less hairy mates more attractive for reasons tied to signaling health, youth, or cleaner skin free of visible parasites and slowly bred fur out the same way peacocks bred elaborate tails in. Not one dominant cause necessarily. Possibly three pressures pulling in the same direction at once: cooling, disease, avoidance, and mate preference, each reinforcing the others until the outcome was locked in. Now here's the twist that makes this whole story make sense. We didn't lose all our hair. We kept it exactly where losing it would have been a disaster. Head hair stayed, shielding the skull and brain, the one organ evolution really did not want sunburned. Eyebrows and eyelashes stayed, keeping sweat and debris out of your eyes. Underarm and groin hair stayed, areas dense with scent glands because hair traps and spreads pheromones, which mattered enormously before deodorant existed and mattered for finding a mate. This wasn't random shedding, it was selective editing, keeping hair exactly where it still earned its keep and deleting it everywhere heat regulation mattered more. And you can still see the ghost of the old coat, right now, on your own skin. Get cold, get scared, and tiny muscles at the base of every hair follicle. Erector pili muscles, contract, and pull the hair upright. Goosebumps. In a furred animal, that action fluffs the coat, trapping a layer of warm air for insulation, or makes the animal look bigger to a threat. In you, it does nothing. It's a fully functional reflex, firing perfectly. For a coat that hasn't been there for over 1,000,000 years, your body is still running old software for hardware it deleted a long time ago. So the next time you feel a chill and watch the hair rise on your arm, you're not imagining a glitch. You're watching a genuinely ancient survival system try, uselessly, loyally, to fluff a coat that vanished 1,000,000 years before anyone was around to miss it. You didn't lose your fur. You traded it for endurance, for fewer parasites, for a body built to outlast anything on the savanna under a sun nothing else could run in. And somewhere underneath your skin, it still remembers.